Hi, I'm Camila Cole. I empower coaches that are rocking the 5 to 10K a month to elevate their brand into strategic, captivating forces that are impossible to ignore. My goal is to help you attract the perfect clients and accelerate your journey as an influential leader. So, to get started, I just want to say I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and that is okay. But I'm great if you already have established coaching business, you already have a brand in place, you're not just looking for a nice logo, you like doing things differently, and you want to roll up your sleeves, be part of the process, and take some action. So if this is you, I invite you to keep watching. As coaches, we know that having a consistent, strategic, captivating brand that attracts the right people is absolutely necessary for our success. What we often find is that there are three major obstacles in the road, but there's also three major solutions and one plan that we can put in place to get rid of them. Because at the end, what we want is to eliminate the risk of being invisible, irrelevant, and ignored. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. What I want us to do is to install a system that allows us to go from a tangle of ideas of when we originally created our brand to a strategic, polished, consistent brand that builds love, trust, and business for you. It does require a couple of things from you. One is to take action, be willing to roll up your sleeves and go through the process. Two, invest around 3 hours a week to get through the system. And then three, think out of the box. I'm everything but ordinary. And I will guide you in through a process that it will be unconventional, but it pays out. So this is what I would say needs to happen for the system to be installed. So let's get to it. Why is this so important? Well, the reality is that the coaching market, it's a growing market. It's exploding so much that from just a few years ago to today, there's 54% more coaches in the market. 54% more coaches in the market. This means that although it's a great market to be in, it's a very competitive market. Just look at the study by LinkedIn. In the last few years, it has increased in numbers of coaches that are executive coaches more than 1,000%, business coaches more than 2,000%, life coaches more than 1,500%. And this goes across all categories. So, having a strong brand today is more important than ever. It's not a nice to have, it's a strategic bet in your future. And we also know by a study done by the International Coach Federation that coaches that invest in having a strong brand make more than $100,000 a year, in comparison to 48% of the coaches that do not invest in their brand. So that just proves that it has monetary impact, but also it's a strategic bet for you to be here for longer. Now, in full transparency, I run a coaching program that it's called Branded Up, and it helps coaches that are making between five and $10,000 to elevate their brand to be these strategic, captivating forces. The system that I'm going to walk you through is the exact system that I use in the coaching program with my clients. As a marketing expert at Google for the last 12 years, I've used the same system with some of the biggest brands in the world to help them accelerate their brand positioning in the market. So, my brand expertise lies on being able to do this for the biggest brands in the world, being expert on conducting brand workshops, being expert on product design, and now I'm bringing this to the world with my coaching business as well. So we will cover the system, and if you're interested, I'll reference some details at the end. How does that sound? Okay, so let's get to it. So I was mentioning before that there's three major problems that I'm seeing with coaches nowadays. The first one is being overlooked. We are navigating a sea of sameness. This is the amount of coaches on the rise globally by region. Just take a look at this map. 86% increase in Latin America, 86% increase in APAC, 47% increase in United States. And this is just going to keep growing and growing. Competition is going to increase. But here's the thing. There is a sea of sameness. Everyone is being the same. So you're risking being overlooked. So we want to influence how people see you. And that is the way that we're going to get through the first obstacle, which is being overlooked. Now, the second problem that I'm saying is that we're not attracting the right clients. And what happens is that 68% of your customers have no idea why they should choose you. So, what we want to do is influence what people think of you. What's the first thought that comes to mind when they think about you? Now, the third problem is not having enough recognition. Recognition as a leader, as a trusted partner in the market for your group of customers. 84% of possible clients say they will buy from a coach they feel an emotional connection to. And this is critical because at the end, what we want to do is influence how you make them feel. This is about what experience you're providing and how you can influence how your possible customers feel about you. So let's recap. There's three major problems that we're facing as coaches: being overlooked, not attracting the right clients, and not having the enough recognition we deserve as leaders in our industry. So, what we want is to be able to elevate your brand to be this captivating strategic force that is impossible to ignore. And let's face it, we want to do this in a simple, actionable, plug and play way because you're a busy person. You have a business to run, but this should not be an afterthought. This should be a priority, and I want to make sure that you have it and it's easier for you to do. Okay, so let's take it piece by piece. These are pieces of an equation, these are pieces of a puzzle that have to be in place in a certain order for the system to work. So we want to go from being overlooked to being unforgettable. And the way that we do this is with two major elements. The first one is understanding your unique value proposition, your secret sauce. What makes you unique? This is the base, the fundamental of you as a brand. And then we have to figure out what that look and feel looks like to you, that it is going to be impactful and systematic so everything conveys your uniqueness. This is how we're going to influence how people see you. When I'm talking about the uniqueness of you, your unique value proposition, I'm not going to bombard you with your mission, your vision statement, because you already know these things. But what I'm here to do is to bottle it up, to make it in a way that is simple and relatable to your possible customers. So the way that I do it and the system that I put in place is a fun, refreshing, exciting way in which we're going to understand what is your uniqueness, what is your secret sauce, what is your coaching DNA, and we're going to do it through several workshops and exercises that are going to distill everything that you possess that you want to bring out to the market in a very authentic way. And most importantly, what do you do with it? Once you really understood what is it that you bring to the world, how do you bottle it up and put it out there? Now let's talk about your look and feel. You have 7 seconds to make a good impression, a first impression. We want to make it count. And a visual representation of your brand and what you bring to the market is the first step. So here we're going to dig down into your brand guide, your the elements that make your brand visual and appealing, your fonts, your colors, your logos, your imagery, and also your tone, your profile tone. How do you speak? What type of words do you use? All of this is the packaging to make yourself visible and appealing enough for an audience. Now that we have that part of the equation set up and a good foundation, we're going to go to the second problem that we're seeing, which is we're not attracting the right clients. And what I want to go from is to being a client magnet, to being able to attract your dream client over and over again. And to do that, we're going to use two major elements. Here is going to be your brand positioning and your brand personality. These two elements combined are going to influence the way people think about you. When I talk about brand positioning, I'm talking about really understanding who do you serve, what problems do they have, and how do you plug in to be the perfect solution. For us to be able to do that, we have to go underneath the surface. It's not enough to have a persona and a demographic profile. I'm here to guide you through a process of really being empathetic about who do you work for or with. This is very important to really go in depth into everything that makes your customer want you because you're going to be the perfect solution for those problems. So that's what we're going to uncover here. Once we have identified what's the problem, what's the promise you want to deliver, and what is the process you bring to the table, then it's time to bottle it up in your personality. For you to be unique, distinct, magnetic, you have to have a point of view, a position, a personality. Your brand has to have a set of characteristics that embody you and what you want to do. So this personality is built, and I'm positioned here to help you figure out what that personality looks like and how you take that personality out into the market. How do you infuse it in everything you do and everywhere you are? So at this point, we've been able to influence the way people see you, influence the way people think about you. And now we're going to address the third problem, which is I am not being recognized enough. So I want you to go from not having enough recognition to be a trusted and loving leader. And to do that, we're going to do it with two major elements. The first one is an audit of your brand assets. What are the touch points? How do you engage with possible customers or with your current customers? What is that experience that you're providing so you're earning love and trust from everyone that you're touching? And then finally, let's put a red ribbon around all of this. What is your story? What is the story of your brand, the story of you, your unique story? Because at the end, these elements are going to help us make sure that we influence the way you make people feel. And that is where all of this comes together because we want to make sure that you're earning love, trust, and wallets. So we're going to do an audit of your brand assets. What are your touch points? The touch points of your brand. All the interactions that you might have with a possible customer or a current customer, and what experience are you providing? So let's talk about your website, your social media, your collaterals, the emails you're sending, the physical space you're in. All of these elements, if they embody your brand, then your credibility increases, your trust increases. We have to figure out where you are and where you need to be. And finally, your story. What makes you unique? A red ribbon around all of this. Let's package you up. Let's tell your story. So we're going to do very different type of exercises to come up with that perfect distilled simple but magnetic and captivating story about you, what you do and what you aspire to do for this world. Three major problems that I see coaches facing right now. One, being overlooked, and we want to go from being overlooked to being unforgettable. The second one, not attracting the right clients. Let's go to be a client magnet. And in third place, you're not having the enough recognition you have. Let's make sure that you're being a trusted leader in the market. The way we do that is by making sure that we're installing a system that has six pieces of this equation, fundamental parts of creating your brand and making sure that you're leveling it up. One, your unique value proposition, your secret sauce. Two, your look and feel to make sure that we're influenced the way that people see you. In third place, your brand positioning, your brand personality. This is going to influence how people think of you. And then finally, everything around your brand assets, your touch points, and your story. And this is going to help your customers influence the way that you make them feel. That overall is what we're going to work together to help you elevate your brand into this captivating strategic force that is impossible to ignore. We want to brand it up and we want to make sure that we are influencing the way that people see you, the way that people think of you, and the way you make them feel. Like I said at the beginning, if you want to join us in the program to elevate your brand to this captivating strategic force, you will receive guidance, training, coaching, done for you templates specific to your brand, plus more. So it's easier for you just to follow the system. I also like to make sure that the people that work with me love the program. So there's also a guaranteed. The first 14 days is a love it or leave it period, in which if you like it, great, you can continue. If you don't like it, it's not your cup of tea, don't worry. I'll give you your money back and I'll even invite you for a cup of coffee. Um, so there is no real risk to trying it out. So if you're interested, just comment below the words brand me up and I'll send you a simple PDF with all the details of the program and we'll start from there. Thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed walking you through the system and I hope to see you inside the program soon. Bye bye.